everybody, and welcome to the greatest podcast on the internet. That's what everyone's been saying. At least that's what I've heard. This is Superhero Speak, and I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm Don, and I say this is the #1 superhero podcast on YouTube. And I don't care what anyone says. I've listened to a lot of shit, and we're the best. So enjoy.
Yeah, we all listen to a lot of shit sometimes. So, and tonight we'll be talking about, of course, Andor mid-season. We've got some news about, we got the Peacemaker trailer. We got a little bit of DC rumors and news, and one piece of Marvel rumor that we will be talking about. I'm vamping for time because I don't have the email up in front of me with all the topics. Rumor about the Marvel TV shows that ties into the Jeremy Renner stuff we were talking about last week. So we will talk about that.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, how are you doing, Don? How anything new in your life since Sunday?
Yeah, actually, I'm like super stoked because, I've been feeling like, man, it's been a while since I played a Star Wars, Starfighter, Starship game. So I went on Google's there and I'm like, hey, what's the best ones? And Star Wars Squadron came up. It was like number 5 out of a list of 20. All the other ones were older, so I wanted something recent. So Star Wars Squadrons it is. And so I go on Steam, and lo and behold, it's like 83% off. Get it for like $7. By the way, this price will be that way till the 15th of this month. So go on and get it. And just been super enjoying that alongside enjoying Andor. So it's just like it's a Star Wars smorgasbord for me recently, which, I'm digging. But I got to be careful though, Dave, because the game was only $7, but then it got me thinking, ooh, what about a cool flight controller? Okay, you going for $100? Okay, not bad. It's kind of worth it. I saved a bunch of money on the game itself, but it's also VR. You could do a VR on the game, and then I looked at that and I was like, oh, $500. Oh, I'm not that into VR, so we're gonna scale that back. So I may do the whole controller thing. But yeah, I was going down a rabbit hole, but enjoying the game. So yeah, that's till May 15th. I'm going to remind you again at the end of the show when we do recommendations, spoiler alert. But yeah, Star Wars Squadrons. Like $7.
I remember that.
And my PC, yeah, exactly. It's from 2020. My PC is like 5 years old and it runs it just fine. So,
well, yeah, because it was probably the top of the line when it came out.
Yeah. Still good. I like it.
Okay, wait. Kasan says, if we're not talking about how awesome this recent Andor arc is, I'm setting fire to this podcast. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, I don't know much since Sunday for me. Just work and that kind of fun stuff. Went to okay, wait. Here's a funny thing. Normally, on Monday, I don't normally get together with my girlfriend on Mondays, and I decided, it's Cinco de Mayo, something easy. I made tacos, and then, like normally, if we get together on Tuesday, we go out to dinner and we do something. But she's getting her son from school on Thursday night, so we won't see her. So she said, well, why don't you just come over? We'll do our normal Thursday thing on Tuesday. I'm like, okay. I walk in and she's already got dinner done and it was tacos. So I kind of tacoed out for a little while. And then wait, but we did finish season 1 of Ted Lasso. Really good. I'll just say that. Now we'll start season 2 next time we get together. Kasan says it's illegal to eat tacos on Monday, only Tuesday. I had them on Tuesday, so no reporting me. No. I mean, I think the good people of Taco Bell would disagree
Yeah.
with the statement.
So when I do my white person tacos, it is on Tuesdays.
Oh God!
I don't know where the hell Taco Tuesday came from and why it sticks, but
White people tacos. I don't even know what that means.
There's a whole song about it. I mean, but yeah.
So but we did get caught up on Andor. We're at the mid point of the season. I'm gonna say it right off the bat, like they could end the show right at the end of the last episode, like with the robot K, not K. What's his name?
Yeah, I'll never remember his name, but yeah. So, spoiler alert: we it's funny that you bring this up. So we get the origin of the droid in Rogue One. Yeah, K, whatever. Everybody loves him, which is so. We're going to have to watch out here, Dave, because we possibly got an aha moment to like Star Wars haters, because everyone hates when you broken lore, right? And even when they don't, you broke lore, but you did. This show actually breaks lore. This show actually breaks established lore, because he meets that Cassian Andor meets that droid in the comic books, and this so episode 9 is the retcon of that. So I'll just be interested to see what the reaction, if any, to that. I know it's a comic book.
There's a lot of people who argue the comics aren't 100% lore. That
you're wrong.
That it's only the stuff that takes place in the movies and TV shows that actually count. So I look. I'm not saying you're right or wrong or that, but
okay, just as long as we establish whoever told you it wasn't canon.
My guess is that will be anyone's defense of it. It's going to go, oh, what's in the comic? It doesn't count. So that's all I'm saying.
Wrong. Okay, we can move on.
K2SO. Okay, I had to look it up. It was bugging me. So, all right. But speaking of lore, right?
I did not expect us to start off with that one.
Oh well, because they had Alan Tudyk say one line, and I'm sure he got paid good money to come in and say a couple lines. All right, let's go back 3 episodes, and they do something. They do something that I can't stand when they do in TV shows, especially in the same season. It's 1 year later, so now we're 2 years out from the Battle of Yavin. Sorry, I don't know why I was throwing an R in there. We're 2 years out from the Battle of Yavin, the New Hope fight, the Star being destroyed, and like all this stuff has happened basically in the time in between, and it's just like, but I feel like you're glossing over a lot of stuff when you do that. So I'm sure you have a defense for it.
Well, yeah, you're sure because I told you. So, but yeah, I do, because I feel that that's the important thing is here is they said, okay, we've got to they've got this Kelkite isotope, this fuel, for the Death Star, basically, in Gorman, that they're basically saying we're going to fucking strip mine if we don't find a replacement, some sort of copy, synthetic or otherwise. And so they had to at least go a year, or at least they chose to go a year to show, okay, they tried for a year, they couldn't find this, replacement. So that's why they we're gonna do gross shit to this planet.
But that's the whole thing. It also didn't make sense to me in that sense either, because the first 3 episodes, they make it seem like their mind is set up. They're going to get the ore from the planet. They don't care, and that's why they're like setting up this insurgents on the planet so they can like have an excuse to have soldiers there that are actually strip mining, but they could sit there and say, oh, it's unstable. So that's why I don't think that the year gap was so that the rebel presence could be bigger on the planet, and that see now I'm talking myself into it. That's where how it makes sense because they needed time for the resistance, the French resistance. I'm sorry,
Space French resistance.
the space French resistance to build up, so they had an excuse to come in. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
And then let's see what else happened. Cecil or Cecil.
Cyril.
Cecil, same thing.
Cecil's the antagonist to the greatest Final Fantasy forever. So.
It doesn't really matter anymore because he's dealt with.
Very surprising.
Yeah, I was kind of like, and here's the thing, like, I wanted to see more within that year of like a cat and mouse relationship with him and the blonde. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Daedra. I wanted to see their relationship where she was playing him the whole time, so that like you see a little bit of that, but like really show it so that it blows up when the soldiers show up. Like it really impacts why he's like screw this and tries to like basically run away. And then
but very, very surprising that character though, Dave, because he did his best impression of Ezra Miller, right? Like choking her. Like he got like violent with Daedra, which I thought was very, very out of character. And I actually don't quite understand his position, but again, I don't know, it's a crazy situation and it really doesn't matter. But I don't know, him getting violent with Daedra over what was going on was unexpected. I'm not saying it's bad as writing, it's just unexpected for his character to me.
I know, and I was rooting for him to kill her. Like that would have been the ultimate if he killed her.
Yeah.
And then they and then that was that, like, and then maybe he just got arrested and that was the end of their story. But he didn't. And then he was even thinking when they're fighting in the town square or whatever they call it, the courtyard, and all those buildings and everything, and then he tackles Cassian, who was about to shoot her through the window. I thought he was going to take his gun, jump up and shoot her himself. Like that would have been perfect. So yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of shit to talk about. Obviously with episode the middle one where the Gorman massacre happens. Man, I mean that episode was just like so heavy, like Mjolnir heavy, Thor's hammer heavy, man.
Yeah,
but they did a good job. They employed the Star Wars story sandwich here, at least as I call it, which is right. You got your New Hope, which is okay, feel good, we won the day. Then you got so that's the first episode of this arc. Then you got the middle episode, which is the Empire Strike Back. We're like, oh fuck, shit's looking pretty grim. And then you come back with the Return of the Jedi, with kind of the something make you feel better. About shit that happened that was not so good. So I don't know if I could. I'm so glad they didn't leave the cliffhanger. Again, we had that episode after the Gorman massacre to kind of get over, what we just saw. I mean, in watching Cyril's mom, his mom back in Coruscant, who's addicted to the Star Wars Fox News there, and you've got all the propaganda reporting there on Gorman that she's watching, and then shit goes down and her son's there, and I don't know whether she officially knows it or not, but obviously we know as an audience that he's dead. But I just was like, that scene of her watching the TV, as much as you hate the character, in that moment, though, you really, as a parent at least, you really felt kind of what she was going through. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I knew what was coming with the Gorman Masker thing, but I really, I don't know. It was just well done. I mean, it reminded me of Saving Private Ryan. You know, that beginning storming Omaha Beach with just death and
Yeah.
destruction all around. You know, I mean, really, they really did a great job with that scene.
Kasan says the subtlety of the Deidre Cyril relationship shows how many layers of doubt and ambition. Deidre doubted her actions after the slaughter. She had to grit her teeth through the massacre. Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying that. It was just you know, just I hate her so much. She knows she was wrong, but her ambition corrupted her morality. As a consequence, she lost Cyril. Yeah, I mean, okay, but like, nah, she's a terrible character. Get rid of her. I mean, terrible as in bad, not terrible as in poorly written or poorly acted.
I think she's going to end up defecting.
You think?
I think Daedra's definitely going to end up defecting. Particularly after the message got out, which was kind of funny. Isn't it funny that the whole reason the Mon Mothma's whole message even got out is because like there was a door that was never locked because the lock didn't work, but then they decided to fix it. So it was locked, so they couldn't cut that set of communications.
There's an argument to be made, and this is something that like Lucas would say himself, is that, you know, stuff like that happens because of the Force, like because it was supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of the Force,
there's Force healing
with that Force healer. Yeah.
Yes. And they hint at that Cassian might be Force sensitive.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely.
So yeah, that was interesting. Which maybe was shoehorned in for what happens to Bix. And I'm gonna and I'm sure
what happens to Bix. What happened to Bix?
She left.
Okay, yeah, that didn't happen.
And I was about to say, I was about to say, that felt like, and I know people are going to argue with me here, that felt like poor writing, because it was like, oh, we created this love interest for him that he doesn't have at the beginning of Rogue One. We need him to be in the Rogue One position by the time this show ends. So you got to get rid of her. And the easiest way to do that is, oh, she decides to leave.
She just flakes out.
Yeah, she flakes out and leaves. And it's just like,
yeah, I hate her character. No, that absolutely. And you're gonna, maybe gonna laugh, you might roll your eyes, but that instantly triggered me because it reminded me of like Kitty Pryde leaving Colossus at the altar. She similarly had some dumb bullshit reason for like doing that.
Right.
And in this show, Bix here, like, oh, okay, you want to keep Cassian Andor in the rebellion? Okay, cool. So you're the reason he's dead now. Okay, glad we all know that. You know, I mean, damn it. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen, but
and that's
he wanted to like chill, be with her, and she's like, "No, fuck you, be in the rebellion."
Wouldn't it have
been going to die? He's a martyr.
Wouldn't it have been a more dramatic thing if like she went on a mission and got killed, and it by the Empire, so it fueled his resolve to be in the rebellion? Like,
maybe. I mean, maybe because Kasan's saying here, he's questioning what that was excellent writing. Bix has always put the revolution before herself in Andor. It has been established she wanted to keep fighting after her assault. I'm not critiquing the writing, though.
The reason it's bad writing, the reason it's bad writing is he already wanted to quit, and her leaving is not going to make him go, oh, I guess I'm going to stay because she left me. It's going to make him go, well, I got
I'm gonna go
nothing
drunk.
left. I'm gonna just go somewhere by myself and drink myself into a stupor.
Yeah.
Then I'm not like, why am I gonna stick around and fight? The thing I was fighting for
Maybe he
left
does.
me. You know what I'm saying? The thing I was fighting for left. That's why it's bad writing. Like it takes away Cassian's motivation, and it's just like you have to give him a reason to stick around and want to be in the fight. And the best way to do that again would have been killing her off by the Empire instead of her just leaving. Then it's like, well, then it's dumb. Why is he sticking around? He
We'll
would have
see.
just left.
We still got more episodes, so I
Maybe
would,
she, yeah.
we'll
Hopefully
see
she
how
dies.
that goes. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad writing. It could all make sense, but it triggered me. So that's all.
Yeah. It was a little silly in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Mon Mothra is now the leader, I guess, of the rebellion on.
I suppose. Which I mean, Senator being the only one to speak against Palpatine like that. I mean, I guess they have no choice at this point.
Right.
But
And
that just kind of brings up a complaint I have about, and go ahead. But as far as Bail Organa's actor,
I was gonna say, Bail Organa though stays, and I think the thing that bothered me about it is he was just like, well, I have to stay because there's things I still need to do here to help set up the rebels, and blah blah blah. And I don't know, as a Star Wars fan, as an OG Star Wars fan, I feel like I would have liked it if he had said, I have a young daughter that I have to take care of, but I mean, she's a teenager at this point, so she's not a kid, so maybe that doesn't make sense. He could have just said, I have to stay for my family, but he didn't. He just killing her off is just another form of fridging a woman character for the sake of male. No, it's not. Sorry, Kasan. It doesn't make sense because she doesn't exist when we get to Rogue One, and her just leaving is stupid. And again, any guy in that position would have just been like, well, then I'm done. I give up.
Yeah, fuck this.
I'll go work in a mine somewhere until I die, because I don't. What's the point of fighting this anymore? Like,
and the thing is, it's Cassian Andor. He still has like a fortune. It starts with a successful heist. The whole show. He still has credits. So I mean, he really doesn't have to be doing that.
And you said it. You said it before. You said it in the last episode. Like, he is not a leader type. Like, he's all in it for himself, which was why he wanted to leave with her. And
he's I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass in the middle of this hallway, if I don't think you're with us after 3 seconds, type dude.
That's the kind of guy that definitely would have been like, well, I'm out of here. In a lot of ways, he is kind of like a Han Solo character.
He's definitely pre Han Solo, right? Well, and you know what? That's a great point, Dave. In watching this show, I actually thought one of the great pieces of writing is you basically see how Cassian's like, even to the rebels, like, I'm not going to follow your laws. Like, I will do my shit, but if you want me to pledge allegiance to your ass, I am out.
Yeah.
And in the Star Wars universe, it really is like that. You've got people that exist on the planets and systems that are under some sort of empire or republic law. And then you just got those that just willing to go out a little bit farther, and soon you'll be out of their laws.
Yep.
And you can exist just fine. So I love the way that it's like you're getting that middle ground. You're getting that the people that serve the republic or the empire and the Sith, and then the people in the middle. They're just like, I'm not loyal to anybody here. I got my ship. There's a lot of space out there and planets. Yep. And here we go. I thought this show does a great job of showing that in the character of Cassian Andor.
Yeah, and I think I honestly feel like that. I mean, if I thinking about how Cassian is, and especially if it was me, I would have been like, I'm out of here. Like, because he already even said like he
Go to
doesn't want to
Nalhutta, set up shop near a casino.
Remember when he was going to they said, oh, you should come here, and the woman kill the woman, and he leaves with that's the other guy
gets laid. His name's Wilhelm or something, or Wilkins.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
right, like they decide to leave and like and to go see what was going on, and like they're like, you can't leave, and he's like, look, I don't follow. Basically, it's like, I don't follow your rules. Like I do what I want, and I'm just gonna go. So a guy like that's not gonna stick around when the thing that was keeping him there left. So yeah, that's why it's bad writing, because it's weird for his character. It doesn't make sense. So all right, but we got 6 more episodes to go. We shall see how they wrap this up. I'm sure, like you said, it'll end with him walking through that door, just like in the beginning of Rogue One. So, and then we'll do a commentary track on Rogue One. We'll see.
Let us know in the comments if you want me and Dave to do a commentary on Rogue One.
Yes, and we can argue,
because I want to watch
about
it.
Who's about who's right and who's wrong all night long. On that note, let's take a minute and have the dark side of the Force come in and tell us where you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Dawn here. You must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated Gundog named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
All right, let's talk a little bit of nerd news. Tried to focus this one more on the DC side, since we've been talking a lot of Marvel lately. And, you know, one of the things that came out, we'll watch it right now, is we got the first teaser trailer for Peacemaker Season 2.
I don't get it. We saved the world.
I thought everyone would finally treat us like heroes.
Bring me Peacemaker. We haven't always been great people, but we are the 11th Street Kids. No one will ever break us apart. You ready for the next adventure, pal?
Keep on, keep on.
All right. So, I mean, you weren't a permanent member of the nerd news. You were a member of the show, a permanent member of the show when the season 1 came out. What did you think of season 1 of Peacemaker?
Oh, I loved it. And it's one of those shows that, oddly enough, you know, that I watch with my wife. And my wife doesn't watch Andor with me. She hasn't watched a Marvel show, I don't think, since basically WandaVision. I think she got through Falcon and Winter Soldier, but after that, checked out.
Yeah.
But Peacemaker, I can't even remember why she even sat down to watch the show with me.
John Cena?
Probably. And then that theme song has her rolling every time.
Yeah.
And the show itself has her. I mean, so it's just a funny, enjoyable show that even a complete layman, because I'm married to a woman, believe me, she's not connected to any connected to any of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she's been watching the Marvel movies and whatnot, but that's surface level shit. So yeah, that's a long way of me saying, yeah, I loved it. Like it, love it. It's funny as hell. Can't wait for the next season. I just don't know how about this whole fucking James Gunn new universe, but somehow because that I don't know how it's in the new universe, old universe.
Well, that was going to be my question too. Like, how are they going to make this work? Like, it's obviously continuing from season 1, right? Obviously, it's the same characters. They're
bugs.
together.
Yeah.
They're talking about like, oh, we saved the world, and yet still people aren't respecting us. Blah blah blah. And they're sticking together, but obviously it looks like they're being hunted. But like, how are they going to explain that everyone else, the world around them has changed? It's a different Superman. It's a different, Green Lantern, and all this stuff is going on.
Because that's not the objective of the show. The last season ended with him bitching out the Justice League. What did Merv say? Every time I turn around, what are y'all doing? Something fucked up. Like it's just an amalgam of crappy shit just going on.
It was Aquaman and Flash at the end there, right? Jason Momoa.
Well, no, it was the whole fucking they only showed, I think, Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller's actual face.
Right. But the whole Justice League is there.
But the whole Justice League was there. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Like, it reminds me of when they launched the New 52. It's like people
they didn't stop Batman or whatever.
Batman's storyline continued on with what it was because I can't think of his name. The guy who was writing Batman at the time. Like, he had this really good story going, and they were like, "Oh no, we don't want to like just end it. Like, keep it going." Yeah. And it was Court of Owls, right? It's like, but it's like it was like, but you had Damian Wayne Robin in it, like all the stuff that had continued on from previous stuff, that he used all that to build to the Court of Owls. So it was like, just keep going. And Court of Owls is probably one of the best Batman stories in a long time. And it was like, okay, but it's technically part of the New 52.
Yeah.
But it like, it's not, right? Like it's the same Batman as pre New 52. And I feel like that's what they're doing here. And it's like, okay, I don't know. And now granted, it's a TV show, right? And not as many people watch the TV shows as watch the movies. So it's not that big of an impact. And it's mainly people like us who are excited for Peacemaker. So but we're also the ones who are going to question it the most. I think the average person's just going to be confused. They're going to be like, wait a minute. Wasn't he part of the old universe and now they've rebooted it?
They're not going to give a fuck, man. No. They're not going to give. No, they're not going to give.
As long as they get John Cena naked, they don't care.
And this all started because they made he was in Suicide Squad, the second Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And it was a great movie. It was again. My wife absolutely loved that movie, and that was really the whole catalyst to this. The fucking Peacemaker show, and now we're doing season 2. So that's what DC needs, man. It needs more shit like that to just catch fire. But again, if you're gonna restart your universe, you got to do some better delineation here. Like Hassan says, well, he's questioning, but yeah, label it Elseworlds then. Just fuck it. Done with it. Okay. Yeah, we're still having Peacemaker. It's an Elseworlds. Enjoy. Boom. Done. But
Scott Snyder. Sorry. That was the writer of Court of Owls. I just had to remember. It was driving me nuts. He also says the average consumer doesn't give a crap. They don't expect everything to be continuum. I get it, but like, yeah, you're right. But if they still try to tie it into the bigger DCU, then they have to explain it somehow. If they have Superman or Hawk Girl or Mr. Terrific show up in this show, they have to explain why it's a different world out there. But we'll see, because us nerds will complain on the internet because that's what we're good at.
What we do best.
The other bit of news, it's in the rumor category, so we don't know, but Will Poulter, who played Adam Warlock in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, is apparently in talks to play Adam Strange in the DCU. So he can only play people named Adam? I don't know. What do you think of that choice for Adam Strange?
Yeah, I don't get it at all, but Adam Strange is... I've never read an Adam Strange. I couldn't tell you. I'm just like you, like, oh, okay, another character named Adam, and I don't know. I like Strange, Doctor Strange, like which one predated who. Don't get me wrong, there's parody characters between the two companies anyway, so it's not worth thinking about. I say all that to say we'll see, I guess. I don't, where he was doing the Gold Dust people on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as Adam Warlock, like he did okay, but yeah, this is a down. No one is waiting for Adam Strange to show up.
No, he's a very minor character from the comics that believe he wears a jetpack and has a ray gun, and it's like he's one of those characters from the 50s and 60s of what they thought the future was going to be like, kind of characters.
Yeah, like I anticipate, I'm going to butcher this name, but I anticipate Mr. Mixaplik more than Adam Strange, just it's way low barrel stuff for anyone.
I expect to see Batmite show up before Adam Strange.
Yeah.
DCU will have Adam collecting last names and powers like the Infinity Gauntlet. Now his Adam and Warlock and Strange. Next is Adam
Thunderer.
Possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, he's a minor character. He's not, I don't picture him as a very physical character. And the question is, if this is true, does it mean he's done being Adam Warlock in the MCU?
I think that's a wrap because nobody cares about Adam Warlock.
He's such a good character in the comics. He was such a waste.
He got robbed in the MCU with having fuck all to do with the Infinity shit.
Right, because that was the whole thing when they showed the Cocoon at the end of 2.
Right.
And you knew it was that Adam Warlock was coming, like, oh, he's going to tie into the Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet movie. Yeah. And it's like, oh, wait, he didn't? They waited till that was all done to actually introduce him? Like, no, this is stupid.
Right. Right. You shouldn't even do it. Like him in the Eternals, man. Like it shouldn't have happened.
Well, the Eternals, yeah. We shall not speak ill of the dead.
Very dead.
There are people saying they're going to come back.
No,
really doubt it.
No way. Because and we never talked about this new article. This was a month back or so, but they already ixnayed the whole Kit Harington Black Knight shit. Like that shit's a wrap.
Is it? Was that confirmed? I mean, I don't know, because they did shelve. It was confirmed that they shelved the Blade movie. So
I also think Kit Harington got like in a fight at a pool hall somewhere too. So
I had to bring that up. So now that I've been into painting, I've been watching a lot of old Bob Ross God, I didn't realize he was on for so long. He had like 30 some seasons of shows.
Well, fuck it.
But
What's not to like? You get up, get stoned, go paint shit.
But that's something he says all the time, and that's his line. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. Marvel doesn't make mistakes.
Oh, okay.
Just a happy
Great
accident.
reference.
So, thank you, Kassan. That made my night. Yeah, nothing this guy says. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Marvel's got some weird behind the scenes stuff going on. We'll get to that in a second. The other thing, the last.
Well, they got a hit with the Thunderbolts, right? I mean, so
did they?
They got that going. I feel that it's going to at least make its money back, and I feel it is generally positively received.
That's the thing that stinks. It's like everyone I know that has seen it, everyone I know that's actually seen it is like, wow, it was really good. Everyone I know that hasn't seen it, who is like on this Marvel's gotten too woke bandwagon, is refusing to see it, and it's like, oh, it's just terrible. It's like, no, go see it. It's actually really good. So yeah, that's it's disheartening, and it's funny because like they didn't make as much on Monday and Tuesday as other movies have. I'm really hoping this weekend.
I'm about to say, I think this weekend we'll see a little pop because there's nothing else to even rival it.
No, there isn't. Not right now.
There's nothing else coming out.
No, the only thing coming out, and it's a Memorial Day weekend, is Lilo and Stitch, the live action, which.
Oh well, that.
But that's a couple weeks away, so like.
Right. No, exactly.
They can make their money back before that comes out. So, and the last little piece of DC news, I just thought this was funny. The Warner Brothers CEO has said that Superman is really good and the fans are going to like it. Really? You didn't say that James Gunn made a piece of crap and no one's going to like this movie? Like, you hired the guy, you trusted him to make this movie. You're going to tell him you're going to say it was great. You're going to come out when you need this movie to do well and say, oh no, it really wasn't that good. Like, okay. Obviously it's the classic, all the execs got a early screening of the movie and they're all saying that it's really good. So
I'm worried. This makes me worried. Like if some fucking exec, I'm not saying it's not good because by all indicators, it looks good. My kids even seem to be interested in it because that was the trailer that showed before Thunderbolts.
Right.
And they saw that and they saw Crypto and that certainly piqued their interest. But yeah, the CEO, an out of touch, I'm assuming out of touch CEO saying it's good. Yeah, whatever.
Kassan, you sound like Don from Sunday. Thunderbolts on character development, emotional arcs, themes, you can give it a 9. On plot, it's a 5.
Well, and he says, and character development. So I don't agree with you there. I think the character development, again, on those that they chose to develop,
right? They didn't develop.
Good.
That's the problem. Like, Ghost is a plot device. We said this already. Yeah. But John Walker and Yelena, they do a lot of character development with the two of them. So, and yeah, Taskmaster, they made sure they didn't need any character development for her. Quickest screen time in Marvel history.
I dig it.
Speaking of Marvel, so this is a rumor, but I feel it ties in with the Jeremy Renner thing. Okay, so first off, they did respond. Marvel responded to Jeremy Renner. I didn't include this article, but they're claiming that the show wasn't getting as much views as anticipated. So, but the thing with that is, it's like, yeah, but this is on streaming. You're not selling ads on it, so you're not making money based on ads. So this is a lame excuse. But they're claiming that's one of the reasons that they offered him less money this time around. Like they're saying they offered everyone less money to do season 2, not just Jeremy Renner. Just he's the only one that spoke up and said something. And then this came out, and this is, again, they're saying it's a rumor. They're saying that no Marvel TV shows going forward will evolve major characters. So, like, you won't have a Spider-Man TV show, or you won't have you can't because of Sony, but you won't have like a Wanda, another WandaVision type movie, because Wanda's a major character from the movies, you know. I find that interesting for a lot of reasons. One, I kind of feel like they should just slow down the TV shows. Like, they were trying to do too much, and most of the TV shows were about characters that no one really cares about. Like, let's be honest, right? I mean, other than Falcon, Winter Soldier, and maybe Hawkeye, but that really revolved more around the girl. But, like, you know, again, the biggest mistake they made was making Miss Marvel a TV show and then bringing her into the movie. Like, not everyone saw the show. She's a great character. The actress was great in the role. Them doing that was a disservice to her. But, like, who really, other than super nerds, who cares about Agatha? Right? Like, she's never going to get a movie, so it makes sense that she gets a TV show. Apparently, Echo. I don't even know why they did that show.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of feel like, in a way, they're already doing that, though I could argue that Daredevil is a major character in the comics that a lot of people like. So, but that's also continuing what they did in Netflix. So that's a whole nother ball of wax. But does that mean Ironheart is not considered a major character?
Yeah, that's exactly what that means. She's not. This is a little bit disappointing, because I do understand the sentiment. But as you mentioned, Daredevil, I do think there are major characters that do fit a TV show setting better than a big blockbuster. Again, exhibit Daredevil. I really don't see him ever in a movie. I don't want to see him in a movie, but
not leading a movie.
Not leading a movie. The X-Men, right? And JD had mentioned this, that the X-Men needs to do the whole academia, high school, ex-students stuff. And that would be a great ongoing, because there's so many X-Men. So you can have the main team. You can have the New Mutants. You can have the ex-students. You don't need big budget CGI to do an ex-student show. And sell it by sprinkling in Storm and Cyclops. So I'm disappointed. If this ends up being the rule, I'll just be disappointed. I agree. There's some things that are going to be better for TV, but this like a chopping block approach I don't like.
I feel this ties in with the Jeremy Renner thing, like, because you get contracted to do the Avengers, right? Big blockbuster movie that's going to make a lot of money. You're going to get, let's just say, I don't know what he was paid. I don't know what the contracts were. Let's say you get paid $10 million to do, or maybe he didn't, because he's still a supporting character. He got $1 million to do it, right? Now it's going to go. Now they're like, oh, we want to do a TV show. Well, he's expecting the same rate that he got for the movie, right? And that's another thing too. If he's being paid at a rate and it ends up being $1 million for 3 months of work on a movie, but a TV show takes 6 months to film, then technically he should be making $2 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it much more difficult to negotiate and have a major character from a movie come and do a TV show. Because in some cases, you might, if it's a longer process to film it, you're going to end up having to pay them actually more based on a rate, if that's how they do it. I mean, I know a lot of the bigger stars don't get that, but still, it's like, yeah, and they're expecting that. So if you want to pull back from the TV and pull back on what you're doing, concentrate on the movies, you can't afford to throw a lot of money at the Disney Plus shows. And I think that's my guess is that's why they're saying this. Who knows if it's really going to come to reality? That's the word. Thank you. Or if it's just going to be like,
love that word,
right? Because they already have stuff coming out. Kassan mentioned earlier, we've got Ironheart coming out very soon. But
got stuff that nobody gives a fuck about coming out. Oh, like I don't know, man. Like you've got the X-Men, and I'm gonna address a comment here in a minute, but you have the X-Men now. Like, okay, I don't want to go to the movies to see X students, but I sure as fuck would watch a show about it. I don't want to go to the movies to see a low key X Factor investigation team, but boy, a show would be fucking fun. Okay, I go see X-Force movie. Yeah, that sounds fucking great. And X-Men. But those other like just low key, again, the X Factor investigating and the like,
or
they just don't cut off your nose
Excalibur?
To spite your face. And, I was thinking Excalibur, and yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's do a TV show that's more about the mystical side of shit with Excalibur. And you're right. I don't want to go see a movie about Excalibur. I want to go see a movie about X-Men, maybe X-Force. So just don't cut your nose off to spite your face on the Disney Plus app. I think you have a property with the X-Men that can pay dividends here because you just said it. If we can't afford all this CGI special effect shit, but you don't need to do that with a school drama. You don't need to do that with a CSI type investigating team show. So if they're smart here, they can make cheap content that'll help them succeed.
I think Kassan has an excellent point.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
I think
he said something I got to address though.
Okay. We'll get that in a second. I think a Daredevil movie would do well, especially if it's a Daredevil and Punisher movie. I agree, because I think, and this is a guy who argued against an R-rated Wolverine Deadpool movie, but they could do an R-rated and get away with the level of violence that they had in that movie in a Punisher that they can't, like, they can do it's violent. It's a violent show, but I feel like they could get away with more in an R-rated movie that they, so yeah, I agree. So go ahead, address the elephant in the room.
Kassan says, Don, expand why you think that way about Daredevil. He's popular on the small screen and the comics. Why wouldn't he be a big hit on the big screen? Well, I don't necessarily think that he wouldn't be a big hit. I just think that, again, he's street level, and I think his best, like, I don't know. To me, Daredevil's like, oh, I can't wait to see him fight. Like, there's a fuckload more super heroes that have way cooler fights. So to me, the Daredevil's very nuanced to the character, the courtroom scenes, the shit going on in New York, and his involvement. So that's just very small screen to me. If I go to a movie, I'm gonna get fucking bored.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and they didn't do a lot of courtroom stuff in the new season, which I think you're right. Like, but when they do that, it takes it. You don't want to see that stuff in a movie, but like, yeah, you would sit through it in a TV show. Yeah, I agree. So, all right. Well, I think that's a good place to put a pin in it. That's all the news that I had brought up for the week. We'll obviously, I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on with the TV shows at Marvel. We'll see what they do. But, and also, is Ironheart going to be any good? I don't know. We'll find out. But it is that time of the night where we ask,
what did we learn on the show tonight?
So, Don, what did you learn, or what did you recommend, or both?
I learned that Marvel doesn't make mistakes, only makes happy accidents like Bob Ross. My recommendation, again, I already did it on the front of the show, but I'm so stoked I'm going to book in this bitch with it. Star Wars Squadrons on Steam, $7, loads of fun. Go get it and play it. And if you're within the sound of my voice, I think there's an online element I have not explored yet. But if you're interested, let me know in the comments. But that's Star Wars Squadrons, Steam, $7 till May 15th. Well worth it.
All right. I learned that Kassan thinks anytime you kill off a female character, you're fridging her. No. And actually, I think even her just leaving for no real good reason is also a form of fridging her. Yeah, she didn't die, but she's just gone for no reason. But I digress. Recommendation. I'm going to recommend what I recommended on Sunday since we finished season 1, and I'm really loving the show. Go check out Ted Lasso if you've never seen it. It's on Apple TV. It also, like, Karen actually said this too, and she's right. It subverts a lot of your expectations, which is also what makes it really good writing. When you think they're going to zig, they zag all the time on the show. The season doesn't end the typical Hollywood way that you would think, but it still ends on a really good note. So, yeah, I definitely recommend checking that out. So, all right. Well, on that note, as our time is at an end for this week, or for this Wednesday, boys and girls, I will say, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what I